Which college? Learn anything, anytime, anywhere education. Whichcollege.co.
Hi, this is Marianne Kay from My Mystic Gems, and I create magical items for everyday life. My handcrafted items include wire-wrapped crystals and gemstones, beautiful bullets, which is part of my Peace project, steampunk jewelry and cosplay accessories, and retro and vintage items. I can do custom designs for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, weddings, and costume affairs. Please visit my website at mymysticgems.com and also my Etsy website at mymysticgems.etsy.com.
Aromagees Botanica, a metaphysical store for mind, body, and spirit. Oils, herbs, candles, crystals, teas, handmade soaps, tarot cards, everything you need on your magical journey. Daily psychic and tarot readings, classes, witchcraft, pagan, and hoodoo supplies, most of it made in-house. Try our free Dress Your Own candle station. From spiritual gifts to ritual supplies to religious books, we have the widest selection of metaphysical products in all of Tennessee since 1999. It is our goal to inspire everyone to explore their spirituality in their own way by offering information and products in a nurturing multicultural environment. Open 7 days a week. 223 Donaldson Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, or visit us online at aromagees.com.
Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network's YouTube channel. Become enlightened, have fun, and tell all your friends and family to share with everyone they know. You can find us on Facebook and stay up to date on our Facebook group, or find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts can be found on Libsyn, iHeart, Spotify, Google Podcast, and more. Most of all, remember to go to our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for podcasts, hosts, future shows, and scheduling. We also want to welcome our international audience. Don't stop now. Enjoy the community. Subscribe today.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be on this spaceship we call Earth. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network's weekly podcast series, The Seance. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Paul Meckes. If this is your first time, please click subscribe, like, follow, comment, and share. Also, follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. Joining us today, astrologer and psychic for over 30 years. During her career, she's written for newspapers, magazines, and syndicated columns, including was her own radio show, TV spots, and keynote speaker. Her goal is to bring astrology down to earth, helping many, many people. Let's welcome to the show for the first time, Carol Starr. How are you doing?
I am doing fine. And how are you doing?
I am doing well, and we are having some technical difficulties, but thank God I've got some contingencies. So
Yes, I love it. We just never quit, do we, Paul? Never.
no, we do not.
Yes.
So, Carol, how did this start for you? Did this start at a very young age, or did it kind of progress as you?
Oh, yeah, 3 years old. No. My kids were in school, and I decided I wanted to do something special, so I thought I'd become a paralegal. So my first husband said to me, well, he said, you're going to make it through one class. And I proved him wrong. I made it through half of the class and left. Yes, it was not my thing. So someone asked me, he said, have you ever had a chart done? I said, what is a chart? Astrology chart. He said, no. So I thought I better get one done because that was the thing to do. And it changed my life. And that's why I'm here today, because I got my chart done. Wow. And on a fluke. And I have been, other than a lot of businesses and other things I've done, always an astrologer and always a psychic, and working hard at really trying to help people find their way through astrology.
Yeah.
Plus my own empathic ability too.
Yeah. And astrology, it seems like astrology seems to be misunderstood a lot, especially nowadays. It seems to be growing. What are your feelings with is it taboo?
It's very popular, and the people who order charts today are a little younger than they used to be, and I'm amazed at the teenagers. Okay, they all know their sun, moon, rising planets, and they are excited about that. But however, they don't know how to interpret.
Yeah,
and I am very against, and I shouldn't say this probably, but I am against going online and getting a computerized reading. It doesn't. You're either going to be elated or depressed. There's no personality in it. All it is a bunch of facts. And lots of times the kids and people who get their charts on think they know all this stuff. They say, oh my God, guess what's happening? Mercury is retrograde. Should I go have my operation? And I said, yeah, of course you can. That isn't going to determine whether you're going to be safe through your operation or not. But if you go online, they say, do not have surgery when Mercury is retrograde because the doctor is going to make a mistake. Now, isn't that, scaring people like that. So there's a lot of education in that respect. But usually people who reach out to me to have their charts read are pretty savvy, but also know they don't understand how to read a chart. And they're always appreciative of what I can share with them. And I always ask them, I'm not reading your chart, I'm reading you. Let me know what you want to know. Is it your relationships, your work? I said, that makes it so much easier for me to do a video or FaceTime or whatever we decide.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is astrology is how far back does astrology go?
Probably 2,000-3,000 years. I call it the human side of astronomy. And so people feel that it's like contrived. And we're really just following the stars and the planets and the placements. Placements is another thing besides. There are placements on the zodiac that are important when doing a chart. And I just think people are really suffering today, Paul. I think that the world is in kind of a chaotic state. I'm not going to talk political. I promise you that. I will not. But I feel that they're worried. And the kids today, I don't want to say they're lazy, but they're not directed.
Yeah.
A lot of them they don't want to even own a house or a car. They take Uber and they live at home and mom and dad help them and feed them. And there's still plenty of ambitious young people out there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a lethargy out there. It's a sense of doom, a sense of what's going to happen. Everything is so expensive. Everything is so difficult. College is prohibitive. Everything is expensive today. And that the salaries are not going up as fast as the inflation is. Mm-hmm. So the kids are lazy. What the heck? Nothing's going to work out. Yeah. And I think that there's a whole different attitude, and what frightens me is when I hear about these kids being destructive, where I don't ever remember, I used to always say we're afraid for our kids. Today we're kind of afraid of some of them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I'm going to say 80-90% of the kids are good, want to go, have ambition and want to go there. But that small percentage can feel very powerful.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, so
astrology
they come to
doesn't.
me and I try to help them get,
Yeah.
I said, okay, your life isn't over. Life is good. Let's figure out what you're going to do best in and how you're going to accomplish it. And we talk about that a lot. And they usually tell me afterwards they feel a lot better, they feel more directed, and they're going to go ahead with what they want to do. So that makes me feel good.
Yeah. Now, does astrology, well, explaining how the astrology kind of plays into the roles of everything, so to speak, it doesn't. Does it only affect the individual, or is there a systemic value to this, to where it plays into like social events and stuff?
I'm going to try to explain this really simply. Everybody has a sun, moon, rising sign, and they have all the planets in different signs. We'll talk more about that if you want. And so here's a good example. If you are if you're Gemini or a Virgo, you're ruled by the planet Mercury. So when Mercury goes retrograde up in the sky, you are most affected by it. For example, I'm a Libra. I have Virgo moon, Virgo rising. And when I see Mercury going retrograde, which is very popular astrology today, I just know my computer is going to act up and my printer is going to react up. I'm not going to get the emails I want. I'm going to lose something. And I'm not planning for it because these things happen all the time, but they happen a lot during that time.
Yeah.
And so if you are like, when is your birthday?
January 31st.
Okay, so you're an Aquarius. And so you're not going to be affected so much by this. I am. But when your ruling planet, which is Uranus, is in retrograde motion, it's in the chart that affects you, it'll affect you personally. And to duplicate your reading takes 25,000 years. That's how unique you are in astrology.
Wow.
You're not an Aquarius just with the moon sign suns. You have all these degrees. And so when doing a chart, everybody is individual. But pop astrology has traits like Aquarians are humanitarian, very smart, very quick. And I'm a Libra, so I am indecisive and I cry a lot. No, I don't. And I also very sensitive. And so Aries are known to jump into everything and start everything. But then they have moon signs, rising signs, and planets that change a lot of that. So nothing is cast in stone. There is no one thing like, example, right now, Venus is retrograde in Leo. This happens once every 18 months. And everybody thinks that their significant other is going to break up with them. They're going to fight. Venus is going to act up. Not true. Okay, yeah, Leos are going to be felt the most because it's in that sign. And it is a good time to be kind of mindful about your relationship and probably not start any fights, which if you often do, but probably nothing terrible is going to happen to anybody.
Yeah.
But it's gotten out there, oh my God, Venus is in Leo, we're going to break up or we're going to have a bad fight. So it's self-prophesizing. You know that we are what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are what we think. Whatever we feel and think, it seems to absolutely materialize in front of us. And if we think that we're going to have a good day and everything's wonderful, what all the little things that are annoyance won't bother us. They'll probably still happen, but we'll have a better attitude about it. And astrology, when I do my live videos on TikTok, I'm going to say 95% of the questions are, I'm a Scorpio, how do I get along with a Gemini? Or what sign gets along with who? And that they say, thank you. I didn't think we got along, but now I know we do. Right. Yeah. So, and astrology will not tell you who you're going to fall in love with. Yeah. That is very personal, very, whatever, but it can help in relationships. And I do a lot of compatibility readings with people too.
That's cool.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had any clients or maybe a direction for those who take astrology maybe a bit too far and let astrology control their lives?
Yes, I have. I hope they're not listening, but I have 3 clients that call me whenever they have a major happening.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do not discuss health issues because I am not God. But I have one who's very sick and she's going to be having surgery and she was worried about a specific date. And I had another one taking a trip and wanted to know if she'd be safe. And you're going to love when I'm going to answer that. I had a 50% chance, I figured, if the plane went down, she wouldn't call and complain, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And forgive my sense of humor. It does. Yes, I used to have a comedy act with astrology. So every once in a while, a little wicked thought. But they count on me. And I do spend a lot of time looking up where the planets are in conjunction with their chart and the degree of the signs. And I told one lady she was going to get an offer on a house that she and her husband owned. I did figure it out to the day. She got an offer on that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it could work. So, but I also am psychic and do have empathic feelings. Yes. And I knew we were going to have trouble with the radio today. No, I didn't know that.
This is, and for those who are going to be watching this is not the first time. I mean, we've the first time it was like, what?
Yes. And here we are so compatible. You being an Aquarius and me being a Libra, air signs, intellectual, smart, we just be best friends, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is astrology absolute, or are there some areas of the science that kind of change a little bit and are not really absolute?
Okay, well, this is it. I believe that astrology always says you have free will. I told someone they were going to start a new business in the summer and they changed their mind. Okay, that you always have the free will to make a decision and to believe what you want. Does it work? It has to. It's been going on for thousands of years, and people would, if it didn't work, people would ignore it.
Yeah.
And there's enough people out there willing to pay a fair amount of money to have their chart read.
Yeah. And it helps to know that there's an open door somewhere, because if we don't know that there's a door opening somewhere on our path in life, astrology can help with that.
Yes, and it does. It does help a lot. I can tell you, 1,000 stories, and I think I've only had one really unhappy client in 30 years. And I think that she was trying to get a free reading, so I gave her her money back. And I figured I could tell that she was so difficult, and we couldn't talk.
Yeah.
And I was a little scared of her, and she came back at me. I said, listen, I don't need to have bad press out there, but I said, I'm hopeful I will not see my name spread around the internet, because that won't sit well with me. She was so mean-ball. I mean, it kind of scared me. And so I gave her her money back and wished her well, and that was it.
Yeah.
I had to tell you that, because I tell it, what the heck. But I have people that feel just like I'm on the psychic line where they call, and I have people that have spent thousands of dollars to talk to me on the psychic line. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
The bottom line, people just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. And there are a few in the bunch out there. I mean, it's a big pool of fish out there, people, and there's always going to be that bad seed out that really just gives you a really hard time, and it's all right.
And I kind of knew it. Her chart looked a little iffy to me, and I was uncomfortable with some of the stuff I saw, but I just tried to work with her, and I knew that from the beginning that she was going to be unhappy no matter what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, so it's not that everybody leaves ecstatic, but people always feel like they get their money's worth, or that they get answers to what they wanted to know.
Yeah.
And that's my job. And there's a lot of astrologers out there. And if you had a chart done by every one of them, you have a different story, because we've all put our charts together with different methods. There's about 20 methods, and I've had people say, well, my moon sign's in Scorpio. I said, I have it in Libra. And I said, this is the way I do a reading, and it's worked for me. And they're fine with that. And there's a lot of amateur